What is up, YouTube?
Hi.
Giving honor to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ first and foremost.
Always.
My name is Marcus.
I'm Christian.
And this is Marriage for Dummies
Reacts.
reaction today. I wanted to do something a little different, not to be negative, but I wanted to. There was a bunch of stuff that Charleston White was saying about Charlie Kirk that I wanted to clear up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of different people. This is like the narrative that's going around. So I wanted to see what y'all agreed on that he said, what y'all don't disagree on, and then I got some facts to show y'all at the end.
I like that.
Go ahead and like, subscribe, and we love you. Let's check it out.
Let's go.
I ain't got no mental asylum to erase me in. That's what made me so you gang banging. Why you don't say nothing to white folk? Cause white folks will do this to me. You ain't gonna do nothing. So nigga, why would I make white folk mad unless they make me mad? I don't bother white folk about problems. I ain't f***ing with white folk cause they done something. I'm f***ing with white folk cause I f*** with everybody. How y'all gonna tell me what I can't say? It was fun and dandy when I talked about the George Floyd and his daughter. It was fun and dandy when they had the Uvalde school shooting. I made mockery of the Uvalde Mexican babies getting killed. It was funny when I made the Houston news talking about raping Asian babies. It was funny when I was talking about the Jews and Aiden Ross' sister. Now it's on y'all. And y'all used to love me, set my tickets, but now it's on y'all. I told y'all I don't like nobody. I like white pussy. I don't like white people. I like Chick-fil-A. I like the Constitution. White folks just happen to be in the way of that. But I don't like nothing and nobody to say I won't talk about them if something happens. It's what I get paid for. It's called satire comedy.
When Charlie Kirk died, I looked up your name on Twitter, and a lot of people said that you were the Charlie Kirk for black people.
There's no such thing as a Charlie Kirk for black people. No. Let me tell you why. Because I'm a black man that stopped looking at white people's problems and started looking at my people's problems. Charlie Kirk didn't look at his people's problem. He stayed looking at black people's problem as if we're the problem.
Is that true? No.
Heck no.
No, it's not. That's not true.
Absolutely not.
He definitely spoke on other people's issues.
Yeah. A lot of it was all in total of a country.
Yes.
All of our issues.
Yeah, and if it contains black people, then you're this is the worst thing about us black folks, man. I used to be this way, is that I felt like we could say anything. We had emotional currency where we could talk about anybody in any way that we wanted to and talk about their problems, but never speak on ours. We never let nobody else speak on ours. And then if somebody in our community try to speak on ours, we ain't having it. So it's that's not true. Charlie Kirk talked about us as a whole, as a country. And if African Americans, the way that the statistics lay out, if it poses a problem, I think he believes that they're American too. Yeah. And they're a part of whatever it is.
They're included in that.
And we don't want, and in all honesty, they don't want if the black culture is getting eaten from the inside out, what do you don't think that other cultures are going to try to take on that culture? That they're going to try to take on that culture, that type of culture, and he's just trying to stop the sickness. That's what it is. And I realized that black culture is a sickness. I realized that hip hop music was a sickness. I realized that and that young white kids and young you know what I'm saying, Asian kids and young, you know what I'm saying, this is why things are so
taking it on.
Yeah, like if you ask anybody in like on the left side about black issues, they say I can't speak to that. Yeah. Like, so you can see a problem going on in any other community. You can thumb your nose at the white man whenever he does something wrong. But as soon as somebody that's African American, they got young ladies singing and twerking to Sexy Red songs. Yeah. And you can't say, or there's a baby mama problem, and you can't say that. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's.
And what's wild is that, look, Charleston White got where he is because he does call those things out. Yeah. He does speak on those things. Yeah. And really, the thing is that I can understand him being like, we can speak on those things, but is he saying that y'all can't? Like, or
he's lying and saying that Charlie Kirk only spoke on black community. Yeah, but I'm like, the only time he ever spoke on it, and if you can look this up, and if you find different, send it to us and we'll react to it. But the only time that he ever spoke on is when somebody came up to him and asked him about it.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody asked him his perspective on the black community, he took a critique to it. He just like you.
Because then why would it be
else.
called Turning Point USA? It would be Turning Blacks USA.
Yeah,
like it would be very specific to only that.
Yeah.
But that is definitely not all he talked about.
And he had a sector for the black community of black leaders to try to turn the black culture so that he could handle everything else. So if it would just be Turning Black USA. So this is, you know what I'm saying, this is debunked. This is the lies. But let's keep it going, man.
Not the problem. We don't have an impact on foreign and free trade that allow all these immigrants into the white man's country. We didn't bring them over here. We didn't bring the drugs. We didn't bring the dope. So
what? So what that we didn't bring the drugs or the dope? Who's smoking it? Who's smoking it? Who's marketing it?
Who's taking it?
Everybody talk about the crack epidemic. Yeah, everybody talk about the crack epidemic, but they don't understand who was selling and who was building, who was developing off of that, and who was choosing to smoke it. Yes, once you smoke it, I understand what it does to your brain chemistry. Dude, my mom was on crack. Yeah. So I know how it affects, you know what I'm saying? I know how it affects
the
people.
decision-making skills. Yeah.
So it's still within their decision to decide to do something. If you decide to do that, that's on you.
And this is the problem of the state of the world is simply that we can't, at one point in your life, it becomes your decision and you have to take accountability rather than putting blame elsewhere. Yeah. And I had to learn that for myself because I grew up in the world and where it's very easy to put the blame on other things and other people and everyone else around you. But no, take accountability. That's the only way that things truly start to change and truly start to become better, you know? If that's what you really want, or are you just out for yourself, you know?
We are not babies. The only time you can blame somebody for someone else putting something down and someone else picking it up and it can be their problem is if you're dealing with a child. Yeah. Non-adults. 100%. That's crazy. Like
that's real.
Yeah.
The CIA have never, the CIA and FBI have never targeted no group of people like they have targeted black people. And even J. Edgar Hoover said there would never be a black messiah unless we make them. So they go kill all our black messiahs. So my problem with people saying Kirk is like me, he ain't stood up to the white supremacists. He ain't stood up to the skinheads. I've been standing up to the negative elements and the detriment of black people. He ain't looked to white people and said, hey, we got a bunch of white kids shooting up schools. Say we got a bunch of white kids and they babies. We lead the nation.
We don't got a bunch of them. We don't have a bunch. We don't have as many of them. Like that is not a white cultural problem. It's a black cultural problem. When 50% of the murders that are committed in America are 50% black, over 50% black, and we're only 13% of the population. Come on, like it's that's because that is a huge problem. And again, he never really brings that up unless somebody's asking about it or asking why we can't give black people reparations or why we can't, you know what I'm saying? So this, I normally, I would used to agree with him, but this really changed my perspective on Charleston White as mostly, I'm like, I think that now almost everything he says is a joke. Because this is very satirical to not do any like for him to just be talking and not doing any research for the things that he's saying. He doesn't even know Charlie Kirk. And I think a little later in this he expresses that he didn't really all he really seen was clips. So why would you spend time on a 2-hour-long
talking
interview,
like you know,
saying things, lying?
This is what the problem is with the state of the world. We take things out of context. We only go off of what other people are saying and move emotionally. That's the sickness of all of us, of this state right now. And that's the way that it was before we became conservative, before we became Christians. We couldn't understand that simple thing of, dude, if you take things emotionally and only listen to what other people are saying rather than doing the research for yourself, you're going to be wrong. You're going to be off. You're not going to know what you're talking about. So let's be quiet until we actually know, you know? It's wild.
And child pedophilia and molestation of children, Hey man, we need that Epstein list out. They say the president's name is on that list. He ain't doing that to his people. He was a talking point. Who
Well, he means the talking head, but no, that's not true. He just came with truth. But the truth, it doesn't change. So every time that he talks and speaks on something, why would he express anything different if he knows the truth? Like, that's all I got from him, is not that he was sitting down with talking points and stuff like that. He had an understanding. He knew statistics by heart. He expressed the truth. And anybody that really got mad at him was someone that couldn't debate him.
Yeah.
spread a lot of misinformation, almost the borderline of lying.
So, all right. Almost the borderline of lying.
Almost the borderline.
So you can't even say he's a liar, because there's only a truther and a liar, okay?
But
Do you
almost
see
the borderline
of lying? So you lying, like we already know that you confuse
That's
or
funny.
you gray that area out. No, there's just a truth and there's a lie. You can't say almost to the borderline of lying.
I ain't never
So
heard
he
that
told
before.
the truth.
Almost to the borderline line.
Yeah, but he told the truth.
But he ain't.
So I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy.
The statistics that he was using was false. Black people don't commit 50%
So now
of
he's
the
a liar. Because the statistics he was using is false. That's
Oh, Lord.
murders in this country. We commit 50% of black murders, which is a small fraction compared to the Mexicans, the whites, the immigrants. So
I'm gonna show y'all that statistic at the end of this
he
video.
challenging children. I'm challenging adults. So we are not the same.
Yeah.
He wasn't putting his life on the line because he was talking just about black people.
He wasn't putting his life on the line.
And he said he just decided because of it. And he said that he wasn't talking about, he was just talking about black people. You didn't watch anything. Also, he said that he only talked to college kids. Do you know why he talked to only college kids? Because they can vote and they are the most misled.
Yes.
So you want a bunch of people who have no idea on how, have no intentions of making America a better place, and all they care about is themselves, or they're misled into college, and they're in a college where they're taught by one side, so they don't even have free thinking. They just follow the crowd.
Yes.
And he said, there's this one kid that came up to him and said, "Why are you over here? Why are you over here debating college students? Shouldn't you be debating someone that has the same knowledge as you?" He says, "Don't talk." This is what Charlie Kirk said. "Don't talk down on the college students. They are the future, and they also are the voters." That's how he turned the
That's so
election.
real.
Is by talking to college students.
There you go.
So what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Charleston? What are you? This is what I'm saying. Like you speaking out of, I think it's sometimes they just let people talk.
Yeah.
You talk long enough and somebody will show you who they are. And what I see here is just I see he's all satirical. I see that you can't hold on to anything he says. Now he said some truth, and again, I still love Charleston White, but it makes you take him less seriously because he's openly, he's not looking.
It's satire.
And he's lying, but he also lying. Like he's lying, but he probably don't think he lying. You know what I'm saying? So. You know what I'm saying? It's wow. Yeah. But I'm going to show y'all some statistics at the end.
He never talked about nobody else as if black people are America's problem. So that's my problem with that shit. Hell, he ain't know me. I stand up to the gangbangers, the killers. I pick on the bullies of the race. He pick on the weakest of the race, the small, undeveloped brains of our children on the college level, on the entry college level.
Y'all had a lot of the same points though.
No, he didn't. He was lying. He said Dr. King was a horrible man. I didn't say he was a horrible man. I say he was a whoremongering preacher.
I have his exact quote pulled up in a second, and I'm going to show you that. So
don't make him a horrible man.
That's not true.
Donald Trump is a whoremonger. He ain't never called him a horrible man. Donald Trump got rape allegations. Bill Clinton, rape allegations. The prince over there in rape allegation, the Jew, rape allegation. So you never heard him call anybody a horrible man, but he won't say Dr. King is a horrible man. He's a lying motherfucker. Dr. King.
It's not true. I got a quote that's changed it. I just want to say that when we're speaking on Trump, whenever you ask Charlie Kirk about Trump and what Trump does beyond the presidency, he says, you can be a flawed man and be in a position where God can use you to do great things. It's all. almost every man after God's heart in the Bible was somebody that had done something horrendous, but still were moving the world into a better direction.
And didn't Charlie speak on the court files of that, how that came out?
Yeah, how it was all fake. But let's just say that it was true.
Yeah.
Look at anybody that's Christian, look at the Bible and recognize that, you know what I'm saying? There, if you look at everybody,
Noah was a drunkard.
Yeah.
Moses was a murderer.
Yeah.
Like the list can go on and on. But the reality is that we're all human, that are flawed.
And what are we voting for?
Yeah.
To change America for the better.
Yeah.
We're not looking at and then we look at the other side and we say, oh, they can hide whatever their stuff is well.
Yes.
So like, you know what I'm saying? That's why you got to look at what they're pushing for. And you got to look to get the world changed through a vessel, not being like, oh, this person is that type. Because people can do things. You never know what somebody does behind closed doors. Like you can never know that, but you can see in public what they are fighting for.
Yeah.
And in Trump's boldness to decide to he just had a bullet whiz by his ear and he didn't say, oh, I'm out of here, still putting his life on the line for the things that we still believe are true and moving that way. So it doesn't really matter what you think he does behind closed doors or what allegations that have not been substantiated that you feel that you want to, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It is still the way that he's moving the country forward.
Yes.
And that's all we care about.
For the better.
That's what it is.
Yes, 100%.
Out peace. So yeah, man. So no. So we've never said.
I think with slavery, y'all both. He mentioned something about slavery.
He said,
you all say it all the time.
He said we was better off with slavery.
Yeah, you say that too.
He said we were better off than we are today. He a lying motherfucker. We got rights today.
All right. So those are the lies that he said, and I wanted to, I don't want to run this out too long, but I wanted to show you some of the stuff that. Let me see here. Let me see. All right, hold on. Here we go. Okay, so if I go down here, let me see. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Let's see. All right, yeah, I'm new doing this. Y'all can see this better. It looks like they can't see it, but they can. All right, so if we read right here, FBI and BJS, babe, read that.
FBI and BJS data show the following percentages of murder offenders were Black or African American based on cases where the offender's race was known. 2022, of the murders committed by either a Black or white person, Black individuals committed 59.3% of murders. Yeah.
So, and then you go to 2019, they accounted for 51.
Wow.
2018, we accounted for 54. 2017, we accounted for 53.
Wow.
And 52.
So the rate is just going up.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You understand? So that information is there. So if you see that really right here, that's the first lie he just told. No, I just wanted to debunk that lie, okay?
Wow.
And then there is a list. This is beautiful. There's a list of stuff here that I wanted to say. Okay, so he said, claim one. Remember, he said Kirk said Black people were better off as slaves. And this thing says it's a gross distortion. Now, the only reason I'm reading this off of this is because I've watched him argue these points. Yeah. They just put it here in this thing, so this makes it quicker for me not to have to go searching through all the videos and plan it. In a 2020 reparations debate, Kirk called slavery evil, but argued in the 1960s welfare expansions devastated Black family structures more than historical oppression, which is true, citing CDC data on single-parent households rising from 25% to 70% post-Great Society. No endorsement of bondage, just a critique of failed policies. I'm telling you, I'm gonna put this link right here, the link to get this thing in the bio. But they got a bunch of he got a bunch of sources here, so that you can't debate that. Yeah, and then there is one more that he said. Okay, Charlie Kirk opposed the Civil Rights Act and called MLK awful. This is cherry pick. He supported segregation ending. He supported ending segregation, but called the 1964 Act a mistake for mandating private business quotas leading to reverse discrimination via affirmative action, echoing Barry Goldwater's federalism concerns on So essentially, if black people are 13% of the population, okay, there's no reason, and whites make up more than that. I gotta figure out what percentage they make up of the population, but we only make 13%. So there should only be, if you were doing it correctly, there would only be 13%, around 13% of those people in those jobs.
Yeah,
that makes total sense. So if you press, what he's saying is, if you press to get more people in there, you're gonna fear that there are gonna be lax standards, so that you can meet the quota.
Yeah.
That is not that hard to understand.
And look, this is something that I realized on watching one of the videos where Charlie was explaining this to a young lady that was asking about this and what it means and what it is, or a gentleman actually, a young man at a college that was in college, and he didn't recognize that, dude, you are already in a better off position right now. You're doing great. Like, so be grateful for that, rather than feeling guilty for it in a sense, Yeah,
that's what it is.
But yeah, the thing is that when we acknowledge how we're actually really feeling, and this is the truth, is that doesn't it feel better if you actually earned it all based off of how smart you are and the work and the effort that you put into it, rather than just your race?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
If you're honest, is that you don't want it to be just based off of your race. That doesn't feel good. And you know why? Because when Charlie mentioned that, the look on the guy's face was so, like, you can tell when someone's like, I hope I'm not one of those of why I'm here. Like, basically wanting him to give him the feeling of that that's not one of me, that I'm not one of those, right? And Charlie's like, I don't know, are you? Like, but see, it doesn't feel good, does it?
Yeah.
So really base it off of what you're capable of doing. And that's all that Charlie was fighting for, is make it really about the work that you put in and the person that you are, and all of the effort that you put into becoming really great at what you do. That's what we really want. That's what you really want to be acknowledged for. And that's all that Charlie Kirk was fighting for. That's the truth.
Yeah, he just wanted excellence. He just wanted you to, as a individual human being, he didn't want you to get to celebrate your mediocrity of getting in a position because it was somebody else that was supposed to be in a position. They overlooked them just to meet racial quotas. Okay, that's all it was. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. This is like podcast sessions.
We love it.
Yeah, I love it. So that's why we kind of moving in and doing a little bit, but we making sure we get our reaction done too.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what
we love y'all. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.